Martha's granola recipe calls for 1.5 cups of oats per batch. Today, she is making a lot of granola. 2.5 batches. So we're going to try and find out how many cups of oats she will need to make 2.5 batches. So I have 3 bowls laid out, which are going to represent our 3 different batches, as you can see labeled here. So I'm going to show with our actual oats and measuring cups, as well as using some symbols and pictures over here to connect it all together. So we know that one batch is going to take Martha 1.5 cups. So here's batch 1. We're going to use 1.5. So these are going to represent our cups. I'm going to fill in 1.5. And that'll be batch 1. So I'm going to do the same over here with our oats. And I'm going to pour in 1. So I'm going to use my 1 cup. Roughly 1 cup. And a 1/2 cup, where I'm using a 1/2 cup. Ta-da! So now we know for batch 1, in here right now, we have 1.5 cups. So next we're going to need batch number 2, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fill up our 1.5 cups for batch 2, where once again, we're going to do 1. With our 1 cup. And a 1/2 cup with our 1/2 cup. Ta-da! Now we need to find what half of the last batch would be. So now we have 2 batches, but we need to find 2.5. I'll write down on here. This has 1.5 cups in here as well. So, you got 1.5 plus 1.5. And now we need our half of a batch. So to do that, I'm going to start by just doing a full 3rd batch. I'm not going to put it in, but we're going to find it with our oats. So, I'm going to take another 1 cup and 1 more 1/2 of a cup. So this is what a 3rd batch would look like. Once again, our 3rd batch would look like 2 cups, and we'd fill in 1.5. But we need to find what half of that is to make half a batch. So first I'm going to start with our 1/2 of a cup. So I need to find what 1/2 of 1/2 is. So we're starting with our 1/2. And there's a couple ways we can find this. So first, we can do our standard algorithm and take 1/2 divided by 2, or 2 over 1, which still represents 2, where we would flip our second number and then multiply. So this can become 1/2 times 1/2, since we flipped 2 over 1. Then we can just multiply straight across. So that would equal 1/4. Okay, well let's check our work. So we can also look at this 1/2 of a cup and cut it in half. So now we have 1/2 of a 1/2, but that doesn't mean much because we still have to think about our whole. So we need to divide the other half in half as well. So now you can see we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces as our whole. And we need only 2 of those pieces. So 1/2 is the same as 2/4. And then we only need half of our half. So that is going to represent 1/4. Once again, we can prove this with our actual cups as well by seeing if this 1/2 of a cup goes into this 1/4 of a cup twice. So here's 1/4, which I'm not going to use. And then this should be another 1/4 of a cup that we are going to use. Woo! So 1/4 of a cup, which we're going to need for our half batch. Now I need to find half of the half. So once again, I can look at my drawing here, and this is 1 cup, and I can divide it in half. So it would be 1/2. 1 divided by 2 equals 1/2. But 1/2 and 1/4 are hard to add together because we need to find a common denominator between the two. So with our picture, I could divide it in half again like we did for our half a cup, and then find what half of the cup would be in fourths. So you can see it would be 1/2/4. So 1/2 equals 2/4. Then it makes it super easy to add together 2/4 plus 1/4. So 2/4 plus 1/4 equals 3/4, which we can also see in our pictures as 1, 2, 3/4 are colored in. So then we can prove this with our cups again. So I can take my full cup, divide it in 2 half cups. So there's the first half cup that I'm not going to need. And hopefully this fills up the second one. Perfect. So we knew it was half already. But now let's see if it fills up 2 of these 4th cups. So there's 1/4 of a cup, which I am going to use. And then this should fill up the rest to be 2/4. Nice. So now we have found 1/2 of a batch, which is 3/4 of a cup. Now we just need to add all of our total cups of oats together. So we remember we had 1.5 for each of our first 2 batches. So 1.5 plus 1.5. So first I'm going to add together the halves, which would, or the ones, which would give me 2. And I'm going to add together the halves. Half plus half equals 1. Then I can add those together, which gives me 3. And then I just need to add onto that my 3/4 for my half of a batch. So 3 plus 3/4 is going to give me 3 3/4 cups of oats needed to make Martha's 2.5 batch recipe.